You never say one.
Mhm.
That's my version of pandering. I've noticed that every single one of these that I've done, I've cut off the intro. So I'm trying to give myself a little bit of space first.
Yeah, no.
Trash can get cut off before I go into the intro. And I think hopefully that was enough time. Let me introduce
Yeah.
Karen. You are a good friend, a filmmaker. You've got a lot of interesting hobbies and passions, which is such a cool thing, which is why I wanted to invite you on.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, thank you for being here
today.
You introduced something to me that I had never even heard of, which is the guitar.
The guitar? Yeah, I was the first one to ever show you the guitar.
I was like, what is that?
Holy shit, that's rad.
I grew up in the town of Footloose. It's like, no, music. Never heard of it.
Footloose was the Kevin Bacon one, right?
Kevin Bacon one, yeah, where you couldn't dance.
I've never seen that one. I always get that one mixed up with the
Dirty Dancing?
Flashdance.
Flashdance.
I was like, the Maniac one.
Yeah, there was a lot of dance movies that came out at the same time. But I don't think they had me. It's been a long time since I've seen the film, but I don't think they had music either, right? If they didn't have dancing.
In Footloose?
Yeah.
I mean, I haven't seen it. That's crazy if it doesn't.
I mean, yeah, I would think you wouldn't. I don't know.
It's just silent, like Kevin Bacon doing this.
Well, no, I mean, once they start dancing, but I don't think the sound itself, like when they banned dancing, I feel like they banned music as well. They would have to. I don't know.
We'll have to do a fact check on this one by watching it live on here.
I'm so glad I brought you on to talk about something you have no idea about. Never seen.
We can do some improv.
You can add it onto the list of quarantined movies.
Yes, actually, we have a big list of that in my household.
Dude, well, you've got roommates, so yeah. How's that going?
It's actually, I feel very lucky to have roommates that I get along with and I'm friends with. There are 4 of us total in this apartment, so sometimes it gets to be a lot. But I think ultimately, like overall, most of us are can be introverts. So when we need our time, we just go to our rooms and stuff. Nice. But we're also good friends, so we spend a lot of time just hanging out in the living room and stuff. So it's been okay for us because we're able to keep each other company and stuff, you know.
Which I have their own spaces in their house.
Yeah, we all have our own rooms, which is good. Yeah, which is also really kind of unheard of. I a 4-bedroom apartment in LA. It's kind of weird.
That's what I was wondering. I was like, it's a 2-bedroom, and then 2 people have a shower curtain around them in the living room, right?
Yeah. I mean, when I first moved to LA, I did live in a living room.
Yeah. It's a 2-bedroom. One of those rooms is definitely a couch.
For sure. Yeah. They're all likely closets for sure. But it's our closets.
Yeah.
So.
Well, that's good. I'm glad that you're in a space that everyone gets along with, and it isn't absolute torture being quarantined with.
Yeah. I've always been I would love to live alone, at some point. Yeah. But I'm glad I'm not right now.
Yeah. I know. Because when I was living in LA, I lived in alone I had a place with roommates, and then
you did.
Yeah, and then I lived alone for a while, and I lived in a it was literally the office of the apartment building that they converted into an apartment. So it was it was so small. I don't know if you went there and if I ever brought you in.
I think I've only been to the outside of it, but I've never been inside. I do remember you talking about it before, though. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, it was so small, and no kitchen, just small bathroom, and I can't. If I was quarantined in that right now, I don't know what. Yeah.
Yeah. It would have been a rough.
It would have been a rough time. Fortunately, life has totally changed. That was 2 or 3 years ago that I was living there. So now I'm in a house. I got a husband. I got a baby. We got commotion. We got upgrade. I am never alone anymore, even when I want to be.
Yeah.
For
You know,
potty
you win some,
training
you
too,
lose
so
some.
there's literally never a time when I'm alone.
Yeah, for sure.
um, but yeah, it's good though, like, because I can't even imagine just within my family with my husband. It's like a conversation of like, okay, who's gonna go out to get stuff? Like,
Mhm.
we trade off. We have to watch everything and wash everything, and like,
Mhm.
we're on the same page because thankfully we're a team, we're married, but like I can't even imagine living with roommates. You're not, yes, you guys are a team, but there's also a
Mhm.
little bit more of a dynamic where it's like if somebody wants to go out, you can't really
Yeah.
stop them.
It's not my place to like
Yeah,
tell them not to. For
right.
sure. I think we've discussed this within our household too, and it's just like, in the end we can't really tell each other what to do, but we have, had the conversations of like, if I hang out with one other person, like who knows how many other people they've hung out with, and it is exponential, so we have to be conscious of that and like take responsibility for that. Like we all just have to be responsible and like
Yeah.
don't, you know and I think we all want to be careful in that way because one of my roommates, actually, she has some like immune system stuff as well, so it's kind of like, let's not bring any unnecessary
Germs in
germs
the
or
house.
into the
You
household.
guys
Like,
are at risk.
let's just be safe, and also,
Yeah.
yeah, it's not about us, it is about everyone else. And like,
Mhm.
even if we're not affected, like if it doesn't hit us really hard, like it doesn't mean that we're not, affecting other people or passing it on
Yeah.
to other people. So
Yeah. Well,
I think it's just like a responsibility thing for
yeah.
ourselves.
Absolutely, absolutely. And that's gotta be scary. I mean, but
Yeah.
I'm fortunate enough that I don't have any sort of autoimmune condition
Mhm.
that's hindered me or weakened my immune system in that way.
Mhm.
Like I'm it's concerning for the people who already have that,
Yeah.
who were already worried about going outside, in
Mhm.
public, who are already, Purelling the carts before they touch them and stuff like that. Things,
Mhm.
and now I feel like everyone is behaving the same way that they've had to for all these years.
Yeah, for sure. And
Yeah.
even like going to the grocery store and stuff, we're trying to limit even that, because
Yeah.
it's like anytime we go somewhere where it's a risk. So
Right. Yeah.
yeah,
It's
it's
scary.
it's a crazy world. It's wild.
Yeah, absolutely. It's just such it's a weird time to be alive for sure. Um,
Mhm.
but it's spinning back to the more positive aspect of it that
Yeah, sorry.
I like that I like to bring up is one of the cool things is that everybody's at home and everyone's trying new things and they're learning new things. I know you said you're a freelancer and
Mhm.
have been for many years. Um, and what's it been like for you working wise?
Um, yeah, so doing freelance production work has been kind of it's
Almost
interesting because it's like, lifestyle wise, honestly, like I feel like I've been training for this for like 7 years. I've
yeah.
been in LA, there's a lot of self-motivation and like that goes into, being a freelancer. You have to push
Mhm.
yourself to find work, meet people, all these things. And like also, every time I go from a full-time job back into freelance, I have to like recreate this foundation for myself where it's important to create routines. And like, even
Yeah.
if you're not doing things that are like important, you still have to create routines of like, oh, I should go to bed at this time, I should wake up at this time, I should do some sort of exercise every day.
Mhm.
And um I started doing this thing where it was like a pretty strict schedule. I'd wake up then, go to the gym between these 2 hours, eat lunch between these 2 hours, take a shower between these 2 hours,
Mhm.
work on something, even if I didn't have like actual work that was paying me, I'd like work on like a stop motion project or something, you know, whatever, like in between these hours. And I think that really kept me sane. And I feel like that's where we're at for a lot of people who are not used to that kind of lifestyle, who have been 9 to 5 and you lost your job. Like that really sucks. So there's emptiness that comes with just losing your job in general, but also like, what do I do with this time? I feel unproductive. So I think creating a routine has been a thing that really helps me. So I would recommend doing that for sure.
Yeah, that's a great comment. It is so important to come up with your own routine right now. It'll be it's so funny, like, because when you're a kid, it's like, no, that kind of schedule and stuff, it's you feel like it's constricting, or even not so much when you're a kid, but like, I don't know, when you're younger and stuff, it feels like that's, you know, constricting. But now as an adult, it's like, oh no, a routine is actually freeing. Like if I know what I'm supposed to be doing at what time, it frees up so much headspace. Because otherwise, I'm sitting there panicking, being like, "Oh my god, what do I work on? There's so much to do, so much, you know." I'm definitely one of those people who get overloaded by the amount, and there's always so much.
Yeah, you were like one of the busiest people I've ever met. I remember your schedule was just jam packed. Every time we were like, I mean, I think it's a great thing that you're productive and you're involved in a lot of things. But yeah, I think keeping a schedule always.
But there's always like, and now we scheduled the panic attack. Like,
sometimes you need to schedule that time, you know. I've been spending a lot of time just laying down, which is like silly, but like literally just like laying on a yoga mat and just not doing much. But it's been really helpful, you know, especially. Sorry, can you hear this really loud? The siren.
I can hear it, but
I'll fix that. All right. Yeah, schedules are great. Also, it just really helps you, you know, keep track of time. And I think that's important with all these memes going around. It's so true where you're like, what day is it? I have no clue. And without the passage of time, I think we feel suffocated in a way. You know, it's like, what are we doing? Like, what is the point of all this? If there's no passage of time, I feel like it can feel really claustrophobic, you know?
Yeah, and you start to go crazy. It's like, how long are we gonna be doing this? You start like focusing on that instead of, you know, just taking it one day at a time. I feel like I should start behind me because I've been total production nerd here. I'm like, I hate that it's just a gray wall behind me. Like, in front of me is just laundry. So there's not really like, I'm in a spare room. So like in front of me is just like, you know, nothing pretty. So I'm up against this gray wall. I feel like I should start like tallying like how many days.
Like with your nails in bud.
Yeah. Right. Like Cast Away or whatever.
Right.
How many days?
What you should do is you should put a green screen up and then change your backgrounds.
Oh yeah, that's a great idea. Fantastic. I would like the Christmas lights you got going on there.
Oh yeah, I put these up this past Christmas because usually I stay in LA during Christmas, but my roommates, they all go home. I don't usually go home because my family doesn't really celebrate Christmas. So I'm usually just here. I actually kind of enjoy it because like the town kind of gets emptied out, and I don't know, it's like a time to breathe.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was like, oh, like some color would be nice. And Christmas lights were on sale, so
there they go. You
threw them up. Now they're just like a permanent thing in my room.
How's your family doing?
They're good. I've been talking to them pretty frequently. So most of my family members actually, it's so funny because like growing up, they've always been they're immigrants, so they've always been like, get a federal job, like that is like, you know,
that's where the money's at.
That's the dream. It's not even the money, it's the dream. It's safety. It's, you know, it's because you get great benefits. You get, you know, it's actually really hard to get fired because like I don't know. There's like union stuff like that
Oh, sure.
kind of helps the employees and stuff like that. So it's just like
Well,
a great gig, you know?
I think if you do certain federal jobs, you get your student loans cleaned off too. Like I think there's student loans forgiveness if you have a federal job. I don't know.
That's possible.
It's always
I
something when I'm always looking like, do I qualify for any sort of student loan forgiveness? Like, I'm always like, I
I
have a
know
federal job.
that's another thing that I'm kind of worried about. I'm like, I'm still paying these student loans, and you know, I mean, everyone's struggling with this right now. You know, where am I gonna find the next paycheck to
Right.
pay my rent and pay
Mhm.
student loans and all this stuff?
Yeah.
But it has been, I guess, with this stimulus bill, I guess with the student loans, it's been kind of suspended for a couple of months or something like that.
Yeah. Well,
That's just a
you can apply for income based as well. That's what I'm
you
on.
can, yeah,
Yeah. It
same,
doesn't
yeah.
you still get interest with that. So
Yeah. Oh, that's the thing with this stimulus bill. I think they put interest on pause as well, at least for federal loans, not private loans.
right. Oh,
Just an
nice.
FYI.
Oh, yeah.
But anyway, yeah, my family, since most of them are federal workers and work for the post office, a lot of them are still going to work, which is
Oh, wow.
kind of scary.
Yeah.
But I don't know. You know, it's almost like the flip now, where it's like, oh, this is the worst gig now, because in a
Yeah.
way you have to keep going in. But they do have you know, they get to keep their job, but also like they're exposing themselves every day to
Yeah.
people, to mail that's like, you know,
Right. And it's
been
so
all over the place.
terrifying because I mean, I stopped looking. Like, there's so many different statistics about how long the virus can last. And
Right.
cardboard 6 days. What? You know,
Right.
and I don't know if
Yeah.
that's true or not. And I don't even know if that's the right number, but because I'm just basing off of different memes that I've seen, because
Mhm.
it's been different. Like, sometimes I've heard it's only like 10 minutes, and then other times I'm like days. I'm like, what? How is
Yeah.
that even possible?
Mhm.
So it's scary. So yeah, I can imagine with them constantly interacting with people
Yeah.
and packages and stuff. Like, that's scary.
Mhm. Yeah. So I mean, I think everyone's healthy for now. I think my dad actually, he recently just told them that he's done for a while, and I think that's, I'm not completely sure like what their system is right now with people being like, oh, like it's not safe for me to work or whatever.
Yeah.
But I think he finally told them that, and he's going to quarantine himself for a while because he's been kind of looking after my grandparents as well. But
Oh yeah.
he's got to like quarantine himself to his own house before he can like
Take care of.
go.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
So it's like a whole
It's a whole
crazy
chain.
situation.
It's a whole
Mhm.
chain of things and decisions. And
Mhm.
it's constant. I know for myself, it's like just constant guilt of like, okay, I don't know what I'm bringing or what I'm exposing or what,
Mhm.
around people I'm encountering. And so I'm a naturally like worrisome person. So
Yeah.
yeah, and I'm always constantly worried about other people. And so now it's just like over the top of like, I can't breathe. Don't breathe. I don't know. I don't want
I
to pass
know.
anything on to anybody. Oh my God.
I
Be
know.
safe right now. We're doing this digitally, but should I be wearing a mask? I don't know.
Yeah.
It's
Passing it
terrifying.
through the camera.
The camera. I don't know anymore. You can
Yeah.
live you can live 6 days through radio waves. What? I don't know.
That's the craziest thing, I think, because we don't know a lot about it. So we don't even know what facts are right or wrong or what, you know? So I
It's just
think the best thing we can continue to do is wash our hands, don't touch our face, you know, and
yeah.
come
What else?
into
Yeah.
contact with as little amount of people as possible, you know?
Right. And it's just sort of one of those, it's a real exercise in control, I guess, where it's like I can only control what I'm doing, and beyond
Mhm.
that, like I gotta just let it go and not worry about it because
Yeah.
you know,
Mhm.
I can't control what everyone's doing.
I know.
It's scary though.
It is scary. Um, but I mean, at some point, I don't know when, this
Mhm.
will go back to normal. That's all we can remember,
Yeah,
you know, at some point.
it'll it'll go back to normal, but we'll also come out of it with lessons. We'll come out like I
Yeah.
think we'll all come out of it with a higher sense of gratitude for the life we had been living. I know I will, like, just being able to go outside, go to a restaurant, go do any of this stuff, see family, like that stuff is going to be not taken for granted again, at least not for a while.
Yeah.
I feel we always eventually go back to forgetting, but for a while, I'll remember, what this time felt like and the important lessons of it, and our own priorities, I think, are going to be different.
Yeah. I think, also it's important to just realize, so for some people, it probably won't go back to normal either. Like, people with small businesses and like, people who are living, paycheck to paycheck, like
it's going to be a long time.
Yeah. I shouldn't have said normal, but we will all figure it out.
It's going to be normal in the sense that we don't have to constantly be worried. Oh my gosh. I have like a children's desk that I'm sitting at, and I try to like cross my legs and everything. There's not like Ohio earthquake
in there, but you're not showing me any of it.
That's why. Like, this is the third setup. This is the most I've explained on these videos.
Shoot. Okay.
But no, yeah, it's not going to go back to normal, but there will be a sense of normalcy. Like, we will be able to go back to, restaurants. We won't be constantly in fear of getting it or spreading it, in that sense, it will be normal. So yeah, normal, but also with, whatever. Yeah. There's no terminology for it. We're all figuring this out.
Exactly.
And it is interesting to live in a world right now where the entire world is figuring stuff out.
Yeah, that's the thing. There's like, it's not even just like humans at war anymore. It's like, humans against this thing that we know nothing about, So really, who knows what we're figuring it out. We're all figuring it out.
Yep, exactly. Well, okay, so I started talking about it twice, and then I went off on other topics.
That's okay.
You're an interesting person, Karen. What can I say?
I don't know. Maybe I keep bringing it back to this conversation. I know we want to kind of focus on the positive stuff, which is good for, we need the positive stuff right now.
Yes. Well, and I'm the type of person, though, that's like, hope for the best, prepare for the worst. So like, even though it's like going on a serious topic is not the same thing as not being positive, like having these conversations about like what you're doing to stay sane and what your parents are doing and stuff. Cause I don't know, that's interesting to me. Like, that's not something of course, like, yeah, it's just, it's interesting. And, but yeah, that's not the same thing as being negative.
Sure. Yeah. You're right.
I appreciate that. I always have trouble within this group about like what I can and cannot share. Even though I created the group, I'm like, okay, do I want to be sharing this thing about hand washing or not? It's like, well, I figured probably they've seen it on other stuff, so it's fine. But it's always a thought.
I think it's a good reminder, I think, because, I assume the same thing too, where I'm like, people don't need me to tell them this. They've already seen this, but also some people haven't.
Yeah. So, that's true. That's true. Any sort of information we can share, I think, is probably helpful. Just on a random offshoot of hand washing videos, I watched yesterday, Nickelodeon got some of their like most popular characters to do a video on hand washing. So
nice.
Blew my child's mind last night. Like, it was her favorite.
Who was in
Paw Patrol and Baby Shark all came together. It was like the Live Aid concert for Nickelodeon children. Just like all your favorite celebrities were right there in a hand washing video.
Live Aid,
was like, oh my, like, what?
Whoa.
Started with Baby Shark, and then they all just started joining in, and she just like was like, this is, I don't even know what to do. It just blew her mind.
That's so awesome. But is it all animated? I don't know. I'm not.
It's all animated. They're all animated characters. Yeah.
Okay. And I'm sure she loved that.
Yeah. So they were just doing a video on how to wash your hands, and it was just like, oh my god, like what?
The edutainment we need
Yeah, right now.
right now.
Get everyone together, watch your video. But anyways, okay, so I want to talk to you about your hobbies because I think that's right now everybody is at home with nothing to do and they need to be focusing on stuff and you know I think it's okay that everyone is staying home and like watching TV. Obviously, as a filmmaker, I want everyone watching TV because it keeps our industry afloat. But at the same time, it's also not with the length that we're going to be shut in. It can also start to eat at you. I think it's gonna we're gonna start seeing like a rise in mental illness for sure. So I encourage people anyways to use this time to start learning about new things and pursuing passions and pursuing hobbies. You have several of them, and one of them
Probably too many.
Probably too many, but that's me too. I got way too much that I'm always interested in. But you've got several of them, and one of them I had never even heard of until I met you. So I wanted to kind of bring you on, and it's not the guitar, as I had known about the guitar, but
you didn't.
Kendama.
It was I who introduced the guitar.
I think you invented it, right?
Yeah. I think so. Probably.
I remember looking back. I think that was me. No. So it's a sport actually. It's not even just it's a sport called kendama. Do you have one of those things there? You can show it.
Yeah, it's actually it's called kendama. So it's like
I don't even have the name right.
It's okay. No worries. It's spelled Kendama. And so it's a Japanese skill toy, and it looks like this. So it's just like this hammer-shaped wooden thing with a spike on the top, and then there's like a string. I don't know if you can see the string at all.
We can see it.
And then like a ball with a hole in the bottom. So the whole idea of this thing is to like get it on the cups and like the spike, and there's like a million things you can do with it. But yeah, in the more recent years, it's been treated more as a sport. Before it was more of like just people would just call it like a skill toy, like yo-yos and like. Do you know what Bigleri is?
No.
It's like this string thing that people that there's like two balls and then they just like twirl them through their fingers.
Okay.
There's this whole like community of just like skill toy people, like including like juggling and stuff like that. But how I got into it was that I was getting into yo-yoing, and then I met this guy at the airport once, because I was on a gig in I think Cleveland. I was shooting photos for this traveling dance competition, and then there's a guy at the airport, and he was playing with this thing. And my crew and I, it was just like me and 3 other people. We asked him about it, and he like had like 5 of these in his backpack. So he just like took them out, and we like played with them to kill some time at the airport. And after that trip, after I got back to LA, I like went out my own, and then that I was back to San Jose, I believe. And I just kept playing on my own, and then I found out that there was a group that met up every Tuesday at Lockma Lights at the museum. So I just showed up one day to see if like anyone would actually come, and from there I just met like this entire community of really cool people. It's so weird to have like friends like across the world who I met just through playing kendama. But yeah, that's one thing that I feel like
that's cool.
Yeah, it's just like been an interesting thing that showed up in my life, especially like I feel like I needed it at that point in time. It's so silly to say that this toy like changed my life, but I feel like it did. You know,
that's really cool. I mean, there's competitions for it, like people.
recently there's competitions, like big competitions in Japan, and this one in Minnesota that I try to go to every year or every other year. It's all just really fun though, you know.
Do you actually compete with it, or do you just go to, you know, be a part of it?
Yeah. So the nice thing about kendama too is that they have like different tiers of like competition, so you can compete, like anyone can compete in any level that they want to compete in. So I more recently I've been competing in like the intermediate levels, but you can be a complete beginner and like start playing. It's more about getting people to play rather than like the whole like competitive side of things. I would say more recently it's been treated as a sport, but like my whole experience with it has been more of a community thing.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah, and it's awesome to like see some of these friends that you haven't seen in a year, and then like just be in Minnesota and be like, hey, like I've been watching your videos and your clips or whatever, you know, and you can play with each other like just across the world too, and just be like and challenge each other with tricks and stuff. So
wow.
Yeah, it's a fun toy.
I mean, and it's cool too that it takes you places that you've never, because I mean, I'm sure, had you had any reason to go to Minnesota before that? Like, I mean, probably not.
Really.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah. No, yeah, and it's like an excuse to like travel and like see other places. More and more competitions are showing up every year. So yeah, it's cool to use that as an excuse to like just travel and then go like hang out with your buddies that who live like on the other side of the world or across the country, you know, that you don't get to see very often.
Nice. Are there any coming up that were postponed or anything like that, or is it pretty much all in the future anyways?
There was one called the Sakura Classic, which I think it happens in San Francisco every year, and I believe they were going to do one in San Francisco and Chicago this year, but they did have to postpone that one because of Corona. But yeah, I mean, that's what's happening, right?
I mean, everything
really. Yeah.
I had several events that were coming up that like ended up being postponed. I'm a part of a comedy festival that it's their first year getting started in Akron, and like there's no reason to postpone yet because it's like mid-May is when the festival is, but at the same time it's like, okay, we're just ready. If we have to postpone, we're ready to do it. But you know, right now we're still going full speed ahead with the original dates. But yeah, it's crazy how much stuff that you know. I mean, and I said this before, but like one of the in a different video, but like when they canceled South by Southwest, that was the moment that I was like, what is this thing? What is going on? Like that's a huge
real.
That was a huge thing to cancel. That really opened my eyes to take it seriously.
Yeah, that was kind of the whole film festival thing has been pretty I would say disappointing in a way, because this is more for like selfish personal reasons, but I did work on a film with a friend last year, and we got into some festivals, and I've never been in a festival, but
awesome.
So yeah, they're all kind of being postponed right now. And
what's the film?
So I co-wrote this film last year called Were You Gay in High School, and my friend Nikki directed it and I DP'd it. But yeah, we finished it last October. 2018. But yeah, it was like the first project that was ours, you know. I've never really been like a writer, you know. But we you know, we got some good reception from some places, and we got a couple festivals, but yeah, it is kind of a bummer to not be able to go to those.
Yeah. And it's one of those things too, though. It's like, even though it's like, okay, yes, there's more important things in the world to be worried about than something you were looking forward to that got postponed. But at the same time, it's like, but that doesn't mean it's any less important, and that it doesn't suck any less. Like, it still sucks. And it's okay to feel that way too. Like, it's so yeah, I don't know. Because I get on myself where it's like, okay, well, I've got it lucky, so I shouldn't feel down about certain things. And then it's like, well, no, at the same, I'm gonna end up being more upset if I don't allow myself just to be like, yes, this sucks.
Yeah, I think that's really hard to put like a gauge on what, what sucks and what
Yeah,
doesn't,
right,
like if it
right.
sucks to you and if it makes you feel a certain way, I think that's valid enough,
Mhm.
because we're all just feeling our own feelings, you know.
What's your guys' plan for the film now?
Well, I mean, what we've heard from a lot of these festivals is that they're just like they're postponed for now.
Mhm.
Um, not exactly canceled. So I think, just like everyone else and everything else, they're also kind of just seeing what happens. And we're hoping that, we still get to participate in
Oh,
these festivals at some point in time,
right.
and yeah, I think it would still be really awesome to be able to be in a theater with all these people seeing, something that
To
we've
see.
made.
Yeah.
Um, so that is the hope. But we haven't really planned any sort of like self-release or anything like that yet.
Okay.
We would
It's
love
not
to.
out. It's not like online or anything.
No, not yet. We would love for a festival to premiere first before we put
Yeah.
it up. But
Yeah. I mean,
yeah,
you put so much work in I mean, physical and emotional work when you
yeah,
create something and produce something. So yeah, something that personal, it's like you want to have the festival. You want to
yeah.
watch it with um with people, with the audience, because that's who
Mhm.
you made it for. I mean, we live in a really cool time where you can sit at home and watch movies, but
Mhm.
as a filmmaker, you still want to watch it with people.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. You want to see reactions and like see,
Yeah.
I'm sure I've never done it before. I've never been at a festival where I'm like, oh, I made this, and been able to just like watch the people next to me and see what they're,
What
what
they're
they're laughing at or what they're crying at or whatever.
Yeah, or
Um,
see it affect them.
mhm. So still hoping that we get to at least do that,
Have that
at least
experience.
once. Yeah. Mhm.
Oh, I'm sure you will. That's exciting to I was trying to see who someone actually oh,
Oh
Casey
man.
said hi.
Oh no way.
Yeah, this
Yo.
platform is so stupid. Hi, Casey. But like it's so stupid that like it only says Facebook user, and I have yet to figure out how to
Yeah,
change
figure
that.
out millions of people on here. Who
Yeah,
are you?
generic Facebook user says hi. So I had to pull up my phone because I was like, who's saying this? It's Casey. Hi,
Definitely a
Casey.
bot. It's a bot.
It's a bot named Casey Niemer, a good friend.
Yeah, yeah. Imposter.
Uh-huh. Well, so what other things are you working on?
So also trying to play more guitar.
Yeah.
The thing I created and introduced to your life.
Yes.
Um,
That you invented, from what
yes, and
I understand.
there's actually this stop motion project that I started a long time ago that I kind of want to get back into. I like
Cool.
started it and stopped it like this. It
You
was
started it and
so
then you stopped it and then you didn't do another start and another stop and another start.
exactly.
You
I
just
just
stopped.
stopped.
You just stopped. That's
But
how
I
most
still
work.
I have all the materials still because I've been waiting for this moment, I guess.
Yeah.
Um, but it's I had an Instagram called Hollow Days,
Oh,
and
cool.
it's like
I'm gonna link
I
that.
was like celebrating the holidays between the real holidays because I online and basically every single day has a holiday, but it's all like you know
Yeah.
eat chocolate chip ice cream day or it's silly stuff
Yeah.
like that.
Hug your cat
So
day and yeah, whatever.
yeah,
Uh-huh.
I wanted to create an Instagram stop motion project where I did like little mini animations celebrating the
Random
holidays
holiday.
between the holidays. Yeah.
That's so
So I'm
cool.
gonna try
Love
to get
it.
back into that. I
Yes.
think I posted like maybe like 6 things, and then I was like, bye forever. It wasn't even enough to fill up the 9 photo grid on Instagram.
Bye forever.
Yeah.
I once one of my parents commented on like, well, why are there all these holidays? Like every day, what's going on? Where did all these holidays come from? And I'm like, social media managers. That's where it came from. 'Cause
Absolutely.
I,
Gift card, you know,
yeah.
salespeople.
Well, I run a couple different social media accounts just as for my job, and yeah, like on days where I'm like, I can't keep promoting the same films that have been out forever that everybody knows is on these platforms, or like I work for an architect company doing their social media. It's like I can't constantly keep either some things are on NDA that I can't talk about, or some buildings I've just shown and shown again and whatever. So it's like, what can I share? Oh, well, today is mint chocolate chip day, and tomorrow is wash your socks day. Okay, great.
How do
Not
you
relevant at
incorporate
all to
that
what we're doing, but
into architecture?
what's
How do
that?
you incorporate stuff like that into architecture?
Architecture. Okay, well, so one was recently we had a storytelling day, or World Storytellers Day. And so that was interesting because then I was able to like go, hey, every building tells a story, and as like architects, we think
Mm.
about the people who are going to be living their lives and the stories, and that's kind of it. And then I run Vanishing Angles social media. That's a film production company, so it was like, hey, happy World Storytelling Day to all of our storytellers that we work with. And then I also run one for that comedy festival I was talking about. So it was like, hey, happy World Storytelling Days, you assholes. Comedians. That's what they respond to. Just like,
Exactly. You just add "yeah assholes" to the
yeah,
end.
assholes.
And it's comedy.
I found that if you just swear, that's the good comedy. That's where
yeah. You're still doing stand-up, yeah?
Yeah, I'm still doing. I actually, it's funny. I because I started when I moved out to Los Angeles. I started comedy out there, which is never the way to do it, but started there and then moved back to Ohio. And it's actually my career in comedy has taken off so much more since I've been in Ohio. Like it's been crazy. Like I get paid gigs now, which is like not.
Woo!
I know, right? Yeah, I'm not just working for like maybe some sweet potato fries.
Yeah.
That was my going rate. Yeah, maybe. But that drink is $12. You're like,
yeah,
right.
and there's a 2-drink minimum. So
yeah, yep. So yeah, but now I travel all over and do a bunch of gigs, and
that's so awesome.
Yeah.
Congrats.
Thanks. It's been fun, but it is hard because it's like, well, March was supposed to be one of my busiest months, and I had all this stuff planned and all these shows, and then it's just like, well, that's over.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping, hoping I can pick back up, just like every freelancer. It's like, hope I can just pick back up where I was and keep the momentum going, and we'll see.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
I'm hoping that this is just, again, like not for everything. Not everything will easily just like come back to normal, but like I'm for the good stuff, and the for us who had that momentum going, we can kind of just like unpause and like get back into it. Yeah.
Oh, hey, welcome. I'm back. We're all back. I hope it goes just as long as I did, because we're back.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, we'll see.
We will all see.
Well, is there any way that people who are interested in supporting you in your work can do so, or they follow you on social media, or
Sure. Social media for the past few years too, where I guess because I used to want to, get the clout, to get the jobs and all that, but I found that wasn't very helpful for my own mental health. So I mean, I kind of post things when I want to post things now. And mainly they're around my hobbies, like like guitar or
Mhm.
kendama or whatever. But yeah, if you are interested in seeing what I'm, the stuff
Working
I'm playing with,
on.
you can find me at Karen Doofus, Dufus, on Instagram. And
Uh-huh.
then Hollow Days. So if you want to find that one,
Yeah.
I hope I can start running it again. But it's
Well, now you have
Hollow.
to because
Now I
you
have to,
right
I know,
here,
because I mentioned it to the world.
the world. To Casey
Um,
and me.
yes, exactly. Don't tell Casey though, okay? Um, it's hollow_days
Okay.
on Instagram. But
Great.
yeah, those are the places you can find me right now.
Nice. Cool. Well, thank you so much for joining me today and hanging out, and thanks for sharing your hobbies with us. And I don't know,
Of
stay
course.
safe, and we'll talk.
Thank you for having me. Yeah, I'm glad I got to chat with you for a while. It's
I
been
know.
it's been a hot second. Yeah.
It's been a while, so it's been
Yeah.
good. Yeah. Thanks again.
Yeah, of course. All right, have a good one.
Bye.